Now let's talk about sales reps. Sales reps do not need to be a user. They are assigned to an advertiser, and then the assigned rep is going to be the default sales rep when we enter a new order. This is a screen here below where we define sales reps. We can enter just the name information, assign them to a sales office. You can enter in some other information just for your own use, like when they were hired and so forth. And then you'll see a listing of all their assigned advertisers down below. You can click print, and that will display a report similar to the following, which is going to show all the advertisers assigned to a particular rep. You can also run this report from the menu report tree. It's report 1.4. Any report that you can run by clicking on the print button on some of the screens can also be run from the report directory. And then over here on the right, we're just showing for a particular advertiser called ABC's Pizza. We're showing a drop list of all the different sales reps available, and you select the one that is to be assigned by that advertiser. And there are permissions to prevent advertisers from changing, or to prevent sales reps from changing the assigned rep on an advertiser. Now there's also a concept of a user. And a user is not necessarily a sales rep, but it can be. The roles that are assigned to a user determine the permissions, and then the sales reps determine the advertiser access in advertiser list. So let's talk about that. Down below is a snippet of the user screen. You can see, again, a first and last name, a display name, and a username. And then you can also enter in the password and confirm the password. The password's never displayed, not even the masking is displayed. So if you need to change it, you have to go to the screen and you can type in the password and confirm it. This particular person, Steve, is assigned to the sales rep role, so that would give him the sales rep permissions that you defined in the past. Now we are only going to assign Steve to himself as a sales rep, because in this case the user Steve is also the sales rep Steve, so he will only have access to his advertisers when he shows, or when advertiser listings are displayed. And those are displayed in the main executive as well as on order screens and on various screens. So in this case, Steve only sees his advertisers in the advertiser listing. And then we also have reports that allow for auditing user entries. Whenever anything is saved in Account Scout, it is date and time stamped with the creation date, the date it was last modified, as well as who created it and who last modified it. This is an example of the activity screen, and it shows the assigned to here is a user, and in this case it's the user Steve. It's not a sales rep Steve, it's a user Steve. Activities are assigned to users, not sales reps. So there's a cautionary note here. Do not assign administrator access to a user. There's one admin account, and it's created automatically, and it's intended to only be used to manage user accounts and to do some of the things that we said you need to only do under the supervision of Fake Brains technical support. So here's a snippet of the user screen, and we're showing the admin account. Notice everything is grayed out. They have access to everything. All sales reps and the administrator role, which is everything. And this is where you can go in and change the password, which we highly recommend you do. So for homework number 2, you need to go in and define your sales reps and set up your users. Now, if you are upgrading from Account Scout version 5, we will be importing your data. And when we do that, we will be importing the sales reps that have already been created in version 5. So, if you're upgrading from version 5, you don't need to create your sales reps. But if you're not, then you need to go ahead and do that. So, new customers, go ahead and perform the steps in these following 2 slides. So, to define sales reps, again on the Define menu, select Sales Reps, get in New Mode, enter the name of the rep, and then go ahead and assign them to a sales office, and you can specify hire and commission dates if you need to, and then go ahead and do that for each of your sales reps. And to define users, you'll want to select the users from the Define menu. Go ahead and enter the name of the user. Type in a password for that user, and then go ahead and grant permissions by selecting the role of the user. At this point in time, the user is not able to change their own password unless they have access to their own user screen. In some future version, we will allow for the users to change their own password, but keep that in mind. To limit access to the advertiser list, then you only want to select the sales reps that you want the user to have access to. If they're a bookkeeper, they might have access to all sales reps. If they're a sales manager, they might only have access to their own sales reps that they manage. If they're a sales rep themselves, they might only have access to their own accounts or to themselves as a sales rep.